everyone, I'm Yasmin Willen and welcome back to my channel. I will be recapping season 3 of episode 13 of Unexpected. This was actually the very last episode of the season. So let's go ahead and get started. So it started off with Ryla. Now she was having a hard labor, everyone, a really tough labor. Her blood pressure was up, the baby's heart rate was dropping. Everyone was getting super scared. There was tons of nurses, tons of people inside of her delivery room, but eventually everything stabilized and she had a healthy baby girl, and the baby was so beautiful and they just could not keep their eyes off of her. And I'm so happy that she had a healthy delivery despite all the complications that, you know, unfortunately can come with the pregnancies. So they actually were talking about some pretty crazy things of how she kind of like felt the baby coming out and it felt gross, and her mom Rosa was like super like disgusted and creeped out, which is weird because I mean, hello, she been through the same thing, right? So they actually took the baby home and she was just breastfeeding and just getting used to being a mom and just, you know, getting comfortable at home. Now, surprise, surprise, Mr. Anthony just gets on one knee and he's just like, hey, can you marry me? Will you marry me? And she's just like, oh my gosh, this is a joke, right? This is a joke. But he was like, no, I'm like super serious. So she's like, okay, yes. And they just both start hugging. He puts the ring on her finger and she starts crying. And oh my gosh, I was literally smiling so hard at the TV screen because, like, I don't know, it just warmed my heart seeing how much Anthony actually cares for her. And he's such a young guy, and it's kind of crazy to see such a young guy step up to the plate and be so responsible and actually just want to get married and have a family. And that warms my heart. And I know she was just so overwhelmed with excitement. Now, her mom on the other hand and her sister were just kind of like, this is awkward. I'm over here cleaning the house and you literally just dropped down to one knee and proposed. I don't know, everyone. It seems like when it comes to her mom, Rosa, it seems like she always demeans every little thing that he does for her. Like, oh, well, that's super cute, or they just have a lot of growing up to do, or it just seems like she's always negative about things. And maybe she's just, you know, being skeptical because they are young, but it seems like she can just never truly be happy for her daughter. It seems like she always has something negative to say, and maybe I'm sensing a bit of jealousy or enviousness. Maybe when she was Ryla's age, no guy really cared about her like that, or maybe she just wants to be a good mom. But I don't know, sometimes I get the vibe that she's just kind of low-key jealous or something. I don't know, it's just weird with her. Panned over to Chloe and Max, and Max, as we all know, he was actually in a 30-day rehab center for his pill abuse and stuff like that, popping pills and Xanax. And she was just talking to him on the phone, and I don't know, you all, Chloe just seems a bit insensitive to his entire addiction to opioids and pills. It seems like she just doesn't know a lot about it. She went to pick him up and they were super happy to see each other. He was super happy to see her, and she did go to her prom because I know that was an issue, like, well, if he goes to this rehab for 30 days then I can't get to prom, but she still went anyways. And again, it just seems like she is just an airhead. Like, she's just like, well, he doesn't need any rehab, he doesn't need help, but clearly he needs help. He said it himself. He said that he actually wanted to get help, he wanted to go to the program, and he wanted to be better, and he doesn't want to be addicted to pills and opioids and stuff like that. So I feel like Chloe should definitely support him at the fact that he can now recognize that he had that issue and he wants to rectify that. So I don't know how I feel about Chloe. I feel like she's definitely self-centered. She only cares about what she wants, and his dad seems like the most genuine, sweetest person, and he just wants the best for his son. So moving forward in regards to Chloe, she graduated high school, and I know that she was saying that she's super excited to finally just move forward from high school and start her life with Max. Now, at her graduation, Chloe's mom was just talking so much smack about Max. I mean, she says she doesn't care about him, she doesn't want to hear his name, she doesn't want Chloe to talk about him, but she always has something to say about him. So it's like, for a guy that you don't even care about, why are you constantly talking about him? And she was just like, I made her, that's my daughter, you know, Max thinks he's this and that. And I was just like, lady, just give it a rest, stop talking bad about him, he's trying to do better. So Chloe graduated and Max embraced her with a huge hug, and they just seemed really happy. And Chloe dropped a bombshell on her parents and said that she actually plans on moving out with Max after she graduates, and they plan on getting a place together, and they plan on taking the baby. And her mom got so upset that she actually walked out of this interview because she said, "You only care about Max and no one else." And I think she should just let Chloe figure her own life out, and just let her be 18 and just figure things out for herself. It panned over to Miss Hailie, and first of all, I love Hailie. I feel so bad for Hailie at the fact that her freaking ex-best friend, sleazy Hailie 2, literally slept with her freaking boyfriend. So Hailie said that she's completely over him. She's completely over Matthew because he is just literally the worst person ever in life to literally just go behind your back and sleep with your best friend. Now, this was a scene when Hailie and her mom was sitting in a restaurant, and her mom was just like, well, when Matthew came over, he came over around 6 weeks. And as we all know, once you give a baby or deliver a baby, you can't, be sexually active until 6 weeks. So it was kind of funny how Matthew showed up at that 6-week mark, and he only wanted one thing. Now, Hailie says she didn't do anything with him. They only kissed and made out, but she did text Hailie 2, which is here in this photo, and I can't stand her. And she said, well, Matthew just cheated on you. He just kissed me. And she was like, well, whatever. He loves me. We're together now. We're all over social media. It doesn't matter what he does with you, because at the end of the day, he'll come home to me, and he loves me. Now, Matthew, to me personally, he doesn't love anybody. He just wants to sleep with this woman and sleep with that girl and sleep with that girl and sleep with that girl. So he is faithful to no one, and they're actually pretty disgusting. I mean, that has to be the worst betrayal ever, and I literally just cannot even stand to look at Hailie 2, because it's just, how can you look at your best friend crying over Matthew and him not being a good father and all this stuff and smile in her face and give her a hug when the entire time you low-key want to get with her man? You're disgusting. You're a snake, and you don't need to be around her. You don't need to be around anybody. They're both gross people. They deserve themselves. They deserve one another. Now, on another note, I do have to keep it real, even though I love Hailie 1. But when she first was introduced to the show, if I'm not mistaken, I believe she said one of her friends was talking to Matthew, and Matthew seen Hailie 1 on the FaceTime, and Hailie 1 started talking to Matthew behind her friend's back. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I gathered from the show. So if that's the case, then maybe this is some sort of karma to Hailie 1 for doing that to her first friend. Last but not least, it panned over to Mikayla and Kailyn, and I just cannot stand this chick. She's probably my least favorite on this show. The way she does things is so wrong. It seems like she holds a grudge against Kailyn, and she actually just broke up with Kailyn, and she found a new guy, and she has a new boyfriend, and she leaves both her kids to go on a date with her new boyfriend. Now, meanwhile, Kailyn had to go with his mom and go seek a lawyer to get visitation rights and stuff like that to even see the kids, because Mikayla won't let him see the kids. But she said that she has the kids around the new boyfriend. Now, she's only doing this to spite Kailyn. Now, for our outlet, Kailyn went to the recording studio. He says that he just has a lot of bottled up feelings and hurt, anger, and pain. And what better way to alleviate some of that pain just by going to the studio? He said he loves making music. He loves writing. And I was listening to the lyrics. You can tell he's hurt. Poor thing. You can tell his little heart is broken. You can tell he's still in love with Mikayla. You can tell, he wants to be with her. But I think they have a lot of issues. I think Kailyn has said some things that were behind closed doors, and Mikayla took that to heart. And I think she's definitely just trying to do things to spite him. But holding kids from their biological parent is not the right way. So I don't know, everyone. That is the end of the episode. I was super upset that I didn't even see Tyra and Alex. I'm like, what the heck? How come they weren't in this last episode? I love them. They're actually my favorite couple. They're my favorite couple of this entire segment. So I was definitely super disappointed to not see them, but I did see a sneak peek of the reunion coming up on next Sunday, and I will tune in and I will do a recap. So that is an episode, everyone. whoa, what do you think about this episode? I mean, this is crazy. This entire season has been crazy. The people have been crazy. The parents are even crazier. I mean, what do you think about this? Comment below and let me know your thoughts on this entire situation involving the recent episode of Unexpected. And do you like this recaps that I do? If so, make sure you let me know in the comments below so I can do more of these. I'm Yasmin Woodland. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and until next time, see ya.